on the last episode of the vlog,
3, 2, 1.
we flew across the world to Oslo to check out this quirky sculpture park, frozen lake, and a bunch of other beautiful vistas that you could see from this train. In addition to exploring the winter wonderland that is Norway. And did I mention that we saw some fjords? We saw some fjords, and they were incredible. You should definitely go check out that video if you haven't already. The subject of today's vlog, however, is going to be all about the two cities that exist right at the end of the fjords of Norway. But before we get to that, let's pick up right where we left off. So the hotel that we're staying at is called the Flambriga. Don't ask me if I'm saying that correctly or not. It is the hotel right there. And it is a wonderfully situated little location that is overlooking the fjord and is walking distance from just the majesty of looking out into the opening. It's a great hotel. And one thing that you learn when you come and visit Norway is that for whatever reason, like most of Europe, everything is extremely expensive, but property is not. So you'll find hotel stays for like under $100, which is unheard of in America. As much as we wanted to stay in Flam, the show must go on. So we drove down this road right here, following it all the way to the edge of Norway. So we have left Flam. Flam is, if you go down that fjord and follow it all the way down through all the mountains, you're gonna hit the little town of Flam in Norway. And Flam is at the edge of one of the fjords. It's at the innermost part when it goes into the country. Now we need to answer the age-old question. What happens if you follow a fjord all the way down throughout its path and reach the very end? Well, today's mission is to find out what lies at the end of one of Norway's awesome fjords. So as it turns out, when you follow a road that starts at the edge of the fjord and you follow that road all along the fjord down to its conclusion, you end up passing some pretty beautiful sights and vistas. Such is life for the Norwegians, who just have these things lying around all over the place. Things like mountains and powerful waterfalls along every corner. Eventually we made it past the end of the fjord and to our hotel, which deserves a video of its own and will be coming in the next one. But for now, we gotta talk about what's at the end of a fjord. And to illustrate where we're gonna be headed, I need to grab a little something. It's not that. It's not that. It might be in here. It's not that. This feels like the money. Yes, this guy right here. Got a little Viking ship. Let's bring her back to the room. There I am. This right here is a map of Bergen. This over here, this is the Bergen city center. This is where most of the activity is going to be happening. And we are down here on the coast in the city of Ås, or Asori Road. We're actually right here at the Solstrand Hotel, at the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. So the first thing we gotta do is actually travel all along this road over here to make it to Bergen proper. And then once we're there, it just looks like there's a bunch of stuff to do, which is why we're lucky we got this, the Bergen Guide. Bergen, by the way, is that titular city at the end of the fjord.
Tit?
The beauty of filming in Norway is that you always got to change your lighting, because then this happens. But then this happens. Okay, riding through a tunnel, but we got to figure this thing out. So we got the Bergen Guide here, and we got to figure out where we're going. We got to check out the houses, Ulriken, and the fish market. So the houses I'm referring to are actually called Bryggen, and they are the most iconic part of Bergen. Ulriken, meanwhile, is a mountain that we could climb so that we could get these epic views of Bergen beneath in the valley. And finally, the fish market is just a very lively fish market, supposedly. Unfortunately, as you'll come to find out, all of this was rather disappointing, but I'll let past Edwin take care of that one. First shot we get of Bergen, and it is just that kind of day. Cold, gloomy, and rainy.
Really cold.
Really cold, gloomy, and rainy. But we heard that it rains more in Bergen than it does in London. This is what Bergen looks like. We got the port with the ships and everything. And then that's Briga there. But as you can see, we don't get the full Briga experience because some of the houses are being renovated. So very rudely, I don't get to see these houses, for instance.
Ghetto.
Instead, I get to see a plastic painting on top of the house. No, all of the advertisements for this place didn't show that the houses were under construction, and they showed sunny blue skies. Even so, the Norwegians really do love their colorful houses. Selling their souvenirs is a whole cottage industry over here. In Miami, we got Pitbull. In Norway, we got Dali of Norway.
What's Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, back here again to let you know. Just came to remind y'all. Que ese culo bota caca.
And she thinks I'm a typical American because she told me there's a surprise and she's taking us right towards a McDonald's. Oh, she didn't stop at McDonald's. Alright, so this was the surprise. And it looks like it's a sausage restaurant. There she is. Gonna eat some reindeer.
Mustard, lingonberry, crispy onion? Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mitchie's gonna try it first. She's a brave soul. Is it good? Bad? What is it?
It's fine.
Reindeer. It's not bad. I like it.
It's fine.
It's like a regular sausage. After trying the reindeer sausage, it was time to hit up the fish market, which was billed as being this big, vibrant thing inside of the Bergen guide, but actually just ended up being a little stand. But at least we still had Ulriken, the mountain, to look forward to, so let's just drive there. Tell me that's not an administration of bigots. I don't know Norwegian, but I'm pretty sure that's what that says.
Oh.
They're going. Somebody's going up there. All right, so we made it to Ulriken. As I understand it, Ulriken is the name of a mountain. It is also the name of this gondola thing that takes you up that mountain right there. Up that mountain where that thing is going so that you could get this awesome view of the rest of Bergen. And this thing says closed all day due to maintenance.
Not only that.
And on Mondays it's closed, and today is Monday. No, this cable car like goes straight into the fog. Dang, I can't believe we're not gonna be able to do it. All right, so Bergen has been screwing us over with fake under construction houses and mountains that are closed.
The one stand fish market.
The one stand fish market. It has not worked out for us yet. But at least there is a nice place to drone from here.
But baby, you the sweet, oh my licha, I'm not gonna leave you. You the make me boo boo.
So all in all, the trip to Bergen, it kind of sucked. But it didn't feel like it was the fault of the city. It felt like it was more a confluence of bad luck. It happens sometimes, but it's okay because the country is still quite beautiful in the background. And beyond that, we've learned a lot about the Norwegian culture as we've been exploring around here. So let me go ahead and wax poetic about what we've learned. The first thing I wanted to point out was the beauty. And I'm not talking about like, oh, the inner beauty. I'm talking about the aesthetic beauty of the Norwegian people. Being a Hispanic person, I'm used to people being a certain height, a certain weight, a certain style of everything, a certain skin color. Every single Norwegian man appears to be 6'1" or taller, and they all seem to be pretty moderately fit. They all go for runs and bikes and hikes all the freaking time, and they all just kind of look like supermodels. And then the women are all blonde and blue-eyed, and they all are 5'10" and taller, and they're all also very fit, and just the people are just casually beautiful. The next thing that we learned about the culture over here is that they're very big on the honor system, like in a way that just wouldn't work in America. Like people would absolutely take advantage of the system that they kind of have going on over here. But for instance, when we went to eat breakfast at the first hotel that we stayed at in Oslo, we kind of just showed up at the restaurant and they asked us, "Hey, are you staying here?" And we were like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Help yourself to this buffet of breakfast." Didn't check our names, didn't check our room numbers, didn't ask any further questions. It was just, "Hey, are you staying here? And if so, go ahead, have at it. Eat all the food that you want for free if you're lying." And that story with the breakfast isn't unique, because we've stayed at 3 different hotels now, and every single time they just kind of ask you, "Hey, are you staying here?" And if you say yes, they just let you into their all-you-can-eat buffet to eat breakfast. So we're off to our very next adventure. We have left the Soul Strand, and now we are driving off towards the next city, which is
Stavanger or Stavanger?
As we leave Bergen and head towards Stavanger, we are greeted by this weird line that we've never really been in anything quite like this before. And so we're just parked here behind a bunch of cars because our GPS has told us that at the next thing that we got to do is not take a right turn or anything like that, but rather take a ferry across the North Sea. So that's what we're gonna do. Hey babe.
Yeah.
You don't want to take the ferry to Vag instead?
Yeah, let's go.
You want to go to Vag? Well, there's the boat. There's people loading up onto the boat to Vag.
And our boat arriving.
And our boat is arriving.
It may seem silly, but words really can't describe how excited we were to board this ferry.
And now our GPS is just telling us to cross the North Sea for 13 miles. Did I know I was going to be exploring a ferry today? No, I did not. And there's an entire seating area. It's cold, so we're gonna head back inside, but this is so awesome. Like, this is just part of the road trip.
And it was a road trip for the ages. I mean, how often do you get in a car and cross the open sea? Norway is very unique in the sense that it's got this big road system that is interconnected by all these quirks like bridges, tunnels, and ferries. As you can see here, the road from Bergen to Stavanger doesn't cover much ground, but it still takes 4.5 hours thanks to all these little quirks. However, the drive is still extremely pleasant because you drive past views just like this one on your way in between ferries.
So we made it onto the second of 2 ferries. So this is the last ferry, I think, of the trip. I don't know, because we didn't expect to go on the first one, so who knows. Here's another note. The city that we're in right now seems to be called Arsvagen. Put that on the screen in a specific way so that you can understand what I'm saying.
After departing from Arsvagen, a city whose name I refuse to pronounce correctly because my way is so much funnier, we continued down these beautiful scenic routes until we eventually made it all the way to the city of Stavanger, which, by the way, was the windiest city of all time and had a wind chill that made it feel 10 to 15 degrees colder than what it truly was. Still beautiful though.
Okay, we made it to Stavanger, but it is insanely windy outside. I don't even know what to say about that.
Hi, buddy. You want some food? What is that? Did they have some food for you, buddy? He's wagging his tail. Unfortunately, we couldn't do much exploring in this city because it was so windy the entire time that we were here. There were wind gusts of about 40 miles an hour every single day that we stayed here. So we mostly got to maxing and relaxing in this place, but off to the cliff at the edge of the world. So we made it to Stolen, sorry if I'm butchering that, base camp, which is the beginning of the trail. And we are waiting a little bit in the car because we just arrived and it decided to start snowing.
A little snow wasn't about to stop us from enjoying this hike though.
So we find ourselves hiking up yet another mountain. This one is called Pulpit Rock. We're taking a break to stop and catch our breath because we have already climbed like 12 feet. That's the beginning of the trail right there. Right over there.
We may have been tired, but it didn't seem like everybody else was tired.
There are a plethora of Norwegian people, and they don't seem to be fazed by the inclination at all.
Pulpit Rock, or Preikestolen as it's named in Norwegian, is not just one of the most popular hikes in all of Norway, but one of the more popular hikes on planet Earth. It is a beautiful 5-mile round-trip hike up 1,400 feet of elevation to see a spectacular view.
That's Stavanger in the background.
That's an incredible view right there. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish the hike on this trip, but even so, I'd still highly recommend going and seeing that iconic Pulpit Rock for yourself.
It's been an insane trip thus far, but one of the more insane aspects of it, the Solstrand Hotel is like the epitome of luxury, and I can't wait to show you guys all about it on the next episode. So I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.